if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Joel from Ludosity. We've been around for a while now, since 2008. And we're here with Progress, which is the first game that we're publishing with an external developer called Tim Garbus from Copenhagen.
Fantastic. And Progress was deservedly the winner of our very big indie pitch. How did you find the experience?
I was extremely nervous, especially at the announcement, but the pitching was really fun. The game that we have isn't really suited to talk about, so I just showed it.
Yeah, it was a bold sort of move by you. Sort of like rocked up. You have 3 minutes to present a game.
Yeah.
And instead you just sort of sat there and went.
And I took a Vine and I put it online while you were.
Yeah, you were doing a load of media stuff while the media were sort of looking at your cool thing. And so to describe, I mean, how would you describe the game itself?
It's a party puzzle game in a way. You're presented with a hint or a puzzle, and it's up to you to figure it out. And as it progresses, it gets quite tricky. Quite tricky
indeed. So we've already captured some video of it, and we've got it on our AppSpy channel of me making a complete fool of myself.
Cool.
And I think is there a lot of room at the moment in the game space for games that make you do lots of physical
Absolutely,
actions?
I think that's the biggest thing right now, and especially Tim out of Copenhagen in the Copenhagen Game Collective. They're known for games like Joust and Button and other awkward games like the Dark Room Sex game. That's really happening now. Fingo. So definitely, I think games are moving out of that, young boys playing technical stuff and it's out there, it's everywhere. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, so what do you feel like the appeal of those games is? Like, why does somebody want to play a game where that makes them look embarrassed?
Oh well, that's because your friend hands it to you.
Yeah.
Because he wants you to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
In our case, I think that's going to be the most fun we're going to see with this game. That one guy plays it, and then you think, well, I'm going to make you look bad.
Well, it certainly did make me look bad. Yeah. I want to come back to this the very big indie pitch. Obviously, we get lots of cool indies, we get lots of cool companies come along and pitch their games, and the quality is generally quite high. It does waver a little bit sometimes, but generally we find we get really, really cool entrants and stuff like that. But the thing that remains consistent is that we always see 1 or 2 indie developers come to the show and they don't really know how to pitch a game.
Right.
They'll make like really classic mistakes. What's your one big tip that you would give to somebody who's pitching their game, not necessarily on a big indie pitch, but just to an investor or another?
Well, you have to be confident in your own game. If you're not, maybe you don't have the right game to pitch. I mean, that's the number one. I don't know. I think I was pretty lucky this time. I don't consider myself an expert. But have a good game is all I can say.
Have a good game.
And it sounds silly, but I think there's a bit of a gold rush, or there's definitely a gold rush right now, especially in mobile, and maybe too many players in this game.
So a bit of a gold rush. I think that's something that we're hearing a lot of. There are a lot of, let's say, slightly inscrutable people who are quite happy flipping apps, or basically reskinning the same game multiple times and trying to, through search engine optimization, make them a success.
Yeah.
Is that a bubble that's going to burst, or is that something that you see going on into the future?
I can't really see it going away, really, because I can't see the industry getting any smaller. So unfortunately, I think that's always going to be there. But the great thing about games is that every so often we see something that just comes out of nowhere and flips everything upside down. And then, of course, after that, everyone rushes to that thing. But
So do you need to be first on the scene with something?
pretty much. Well, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it stressful to be in this industry. That it changes so quickly.
Yeah. So this industry is. It's interesting that you say this industry is fun, and then you said, and this industry is stressful. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of young, mostly men, although increasingly women in the sort of indie space. A lot of young people looking very tired. Is sort of surviving as an indie? Is it a young person's game?
No, I don't think so. I think we're seeing quite a lot of people with a lot of experience, talking maybe cross companies, and then coming to the conclusion that we're going to form a new company, and veterans hit the ground running with new games. I'm not thinking of anything right now, but
for example,
I think
Peter Molyneux, for example, comes away from Lionhead and comes away from Microsoft and sort of goes, right, I'm going to make 22 cans, right?
Yeah.
And
wasn't it 21 cans?
Is it 20? I want to say it's 22. 21, 22?
Maybe.
He's always over-delivering. But he comes out and he's got all of this experience, and then he goes, right, now I'm going to be an indie developer.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's? I mean, is there like a feeling that that's fair?
Yeah, of course. Of course it's fair. Of course it's fair. I admire people switching careers, even at a later age.
Yeah. And is there anything that you feel that sort of younger developers bring to the table that older developers don't, or vice versa?
Well, with older developers, even if they have a startup, I think they are smarter generally, and they say no more often.
Yeah.
Younger developers or younger whatever entrepreneurs tend to say yes too much, and you might do too much, you might take on too much, and that might not work out. You need to find that focus. I forgot the question.
Don't worry about it. I think that's probably going to be a good space to stop the interview.